We've talked on the YouTube channel about Killzone, guys. This was one of the first games I played on the PlayStation 3, and I gotta say that I really do enjoy this franchise as a whole and what we've gotten at this point. With that, though, we've talked about the possibility of another Killzone game coming out at some point or another. Now, of course, guys, Killzone is created by Guerrilla Games, the same guys who, of course, make the Horizon games. And so, obviously, we've got the new Horizon, Forbidden West, is going to be pretty much, of course, the next game coming out by Guerrilla Games. And so we had talked on the YouTube channel about the possibility of maybe are we going to see a Killzone 5 or are we going to see, you know, a continuation of Horizon, which I had thought that Horizon most likely was going to be the next thing because of how popular Horizon Zero Dawn was. But with that, guys, Killzone 5 is certainly not something that I think is, you know, going to go the wayside. I think that this is something that Guerrilla Games is still certainly thinking about. Obviously, Horizon is kind of the, you know, at the forefront. But if you're a big Killzone fan, don't, you know, lose hope as of yet. And with that, I want to go over everything that we want in Killzone 5. And when I say we, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinions here. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree, which is fine. Just let me know in the comment section down below what you guys want to see in Killzone 5. So like I said, guys, at this point in time, Killzone 5 is not greenlit. It's not, at least from what we know, it is not something that's being in active development over at Guerrilla Games. This is something that they have talked about, though. They've stated that they would like to come back to the Killzone franchise, and I think they should, especially after Shadowfall. I definitely don't want that to be the last memory of Killzone, because I thought it was one of the weaker games within the franchise. But nonetheless, we haven't gotten a new Killzone game since 2013. It's been a long time, guys. So I would love to see that at some point or another. So really, one of the first things I'd like to say is that I just want to see Killzone 5 made. I think that's, you know, one of the big things that I would like to see is that we just want to see this game get made. At number 2 for me, though, is that obviously, guys, I think what they need to do is, now that we're getting into, you know, Killzone 5, essentially, I think it's important that there's somewhat of a reboot potentially here. Maybe a soft reboot. You know, maybe they want to, you know, start really kind of bringing these games out for the next generation, obviously, of gamers, of consoles, and things of that nature. And I think they could do a really good job from that perspective as far as, you know, graphically and just from, you know, a visual perspective, from a story perspective. And that leads me to, you know, one of the things with the story, guys, I'd like to see is a semi-open world. I'd like to see some differences here. I want to see, you know, some similarities, but I definitely want to see some differences too. I'd like to see kind of an open world setting in Killzone, ways that we can kind of explore it unlike we've ever done before. And when I say that, you know, overall Killzone has been like this linear experience. And if, you know, I'll give you an example with Gears of War, you know, I was very concerned about them going in the semi-open world setting in Gears of War because we had this linear experience and they changed it up in Gears 5. And I got to say, I absolutely loved it. I loved being able to explore outside of what, you know, this, you know, what that linear experience was going to be all about. And I loved that we were able to explore, and it kind of paced the game well, in my opinion. And I think Killzone 5 could absolutely take advantage of that in a major way. And, you know, with that, guys, you know, a semi-open world, I'm not saying a full open world, but a semi-open world where they can kind of like tease this idea of, you know, and see what us as fans think about that. I think that would be a really great thing. I also think, guys, that one of the biggest things to me that has kind of held Killzone back is the multiplayer experiences. Even though, like, I've loved the multiplayer, I feel that it was never as big as it should have been. It was always something that I didn't feel kind of got the justice that it deserved as far as from a multiplayer experience. Now, in all fairness, I think it's probably partially because it's a PlayStation exclusive. So only PlayStation people can play it. So that's already limiting, you know, how many people are able to access the multiplayer, you know. The same thing goes with like Halo and Gears of War. Those are exclusives to Xbox. So it kind of limits your exposure. You know, not everyone can play the game. And so with Killzone, though, I would absolutely love to see, with the multiplayer experience, I would love to see a free-to-play multiplayer experience where it's cross-play, and it's not just exclusive to PlayStation. I think it would be great for the Killzone franchise if this was something that wasn't, exactly exclusive. Maybe the campaign and such is exclusive, but I would love to see the multiplayer be free to play, or at least, have the ability where other people outside of PlayStation users can play it. I think that would be really helpful in building the multiplayer, and it would justify continuing the franchise moving forward, in my personal opinion. Now, we've gotten, 4 of these games, technically speaking, up to this point in time. I mean, we've of course have, our last game was Shadowfall, and even though it was okay, I don't even really consider it, even though it's technically, a part of canon. I think that it's important that this is I kind of almost forget about, Shadowfall. I would really like to see with Killzone 5 here, I'd like them, not only with the soft reboot, but I'd like them to tie in one way, shape, or form to like the original Killzone games. However they may do that with like new characters and new enemies and like new locations, new environments, but also having the existing characters, some existing ones from the past would be really great as well. Existing characters, existing enemies, and like existing locations would give you that familiarity. Now, what I will also say, guys, outside of, having multiplayer, I think it's also important to have co-op, having ways that I can play with my friends after I'm done playing the story, whether there's co-op missions, whether there's PvE, where you're going up against waves and waves of enemies, or, PvP elements, which I think is what really should be a focal point moving into Killzone 5. The fact of the matter is, though, guys, is that, you want a full package. When you're paying a $60, price tag for a game, especially if, Killzone 5, doesn't have the, free-to-play multiplayer, doesn't have it where it's like cross-play and such, I think it's going to be really important that there are a number of ways that we who are, PlayStation users, who play PlayStation as well as other consoles, I think it's going to be really important that there's just a lot of ways and reasons for us to stay playing Killzone. And so with that, guys, those are the main things for me that I really want to see in Killzone 5. Now, look, like I said, we don't have any confirmation. There's been rumblings and talks that Killzone 5 is secretly under development or in development over at Guerrilla Games. And Guerrilla Games, that studio is growing because of course, the success of Horizon, and of course Horizon Forbidden West, and then of course moving, if we get a Killzone 5, that could be something really special moving into the next generation of consoles. But let me know, guys, what do you guys think? What is it that you guys want to see in Killzone 5? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Killzone 5 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.